It was a heavy deflection of Pascal Gross, the opener, an absolute beauty. A diving header from Kevin De Bruyne from a Kyle Walker cross, his first ever headed goal in the Premier League. And so at half-time here at the Amex Stadium, the Blues in control. Brighton 0, City 3. Well, let's go back to the studio and we can join Keith Curle, Paul Dickov and Ellard.
Well, what a first half. Paul Dickov, doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, they're absolutely fantastic. You know, getting the goal early on did help, but tactically they've been amazing with them without the ball. You know, but when we got the team sheet before, we're thinking Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva are going to be wide. The only sort of questions were what side, but they're actually playing centrally, and they're causing Brighton all sorts of problems because what it's doing is it's leaving both their full-backs exposed. They don't know whether to go in with Bernardo Silva and Phil, and if they do, Kyle and Guardiola, they're playing so wide and so high as full-backs that when they do get dragged out, the space in behind and the pockets are there. And the football we've played is fantastic. And the flip side of that, having the bodies in there when Brighton are trying to play out the pressing has been unbelievable. The energy, it's probably as sharp as I've seen City look in a few weeks. You know, they look as if they're really at it.
We said before that, you know, the way that Brighton love to play this high press, playing out from the back. You spoke there about the tactical nuances of how well City are playing. Has Brighton's style been kind of the architect of their own downfall in the first half?
You look at it and it's brave, but there's always an element of risk and reward. Yeah, so if the rewards are there and it's minimal risk, yeah, encourage the players. But then I'm looking at it might be because I've got me coaching managerial head on from League Two, and I'm looking at some casting my mind back now on some of the players, and I'm thinking not a chance. but I think like I wouldn't be inviting it. I wouldn't be invited. I'd be asking different questions. But then the manager's got a good understanding of how he wants to play. He's got trust and belief in his players. And again, he won't go in there and demonetize those four errors on the edge of their box, because that's what he wants. Because when it does come off, it looks absolutely fantastic. For a neutral to go and watch an entertaining game of football, you're like, fantastic, want to see it. If you're the manager, when it doesn't come off, difficult. But then touching on City, if you had a heat map on the Man City's midfield, they've covered some ground. And that's game understanding, positional understanding, and the forward movements off the ball. The man on the ball option, the third man runs going forward. That's something that I've not seen in the last couple of weeks. That willingness and the understanding I've got to make those forward runs because it's creating more space, and then they're able to dominate possession of the ball. And the tempo of what they're playing today, they've gone up a level.
It's the rotation in that midfield as well, you know, because Rodri predominantly, he's the one in the front of the back four, but 1 minute Bernardo Silva's dropping in there and getting the ball off him, the next minute it's Kevin De Bruyne, then it's Kovacic, and they're moving Brighton's midfield around so much, which is allowing Phil to get in the little pockets, Alvarez to get in the little pockets, De Bruyne, and then go and attack them. It's been fantastic. It's been fascinating to watch, but fantastic as well.
Let's run through the goals. Back where it started, Kevin De Bruyne, 17 minutes. Now, for me, these are my favourite goals to watch. It doesn't get better than a diving header when a player just connects so perfectly in flight. How special was that, Keith? No,
excellent. And I think the other thing is credit's got to be given to Kyle Walker as well for the ball in, because I think a lot of people in that position would have thought, oh, well, just feed it into that corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and the back line. He's actually picked out runners that are arriving just outside the penalty spot. And again, great, had a good finish. And Kevin, he's a technician, isn't he? Ask him to do anything, and I think he could perform it.
First header in the Premier League, though, Paul. Yeah,
I know. I was trying to think if I've ever actually seen him score a header before, but I know that's his third one now, first in the Premier League. But great all-round play, you know, fantastic from Phil Foden first and foremost. And then saying Kyle's playing really, really high, isn't he? Yeah. And the young lad Barco, whatever. Doesn't know where to stick or twist by coming in. Great ball by Kyle, and what a header. Yeah.
How hard is that to do? Put that into...
I don't think I ever scored a header before, but it's just the execution, the timing, and he's meant to put it where he's put it as well. It's not as if he's just put his head in it and hope for the best. He's meant that as well, and you know, there's nothing they can't do, is there?
Because when it comes off, it looks spectacular. But if you go in for a move like that, kind of a bicycle kick as well, it can end up looking quite embarrassing if you don't land it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you've got to make sure that you can pull it off as well.
Very special indeed. Let's go on to the next one. Foden's 50th goal. As things stand, that is going down as a Phil Foden goal, despite a mighty deflection on the way in.
That's I'm an ex-striker, isn't it? So that's Phil's goal all day long for me. It doesn't matter how it goes in.
Definitely. I think the defender would be disappointed that it's gone in off of his back. It's a direct free kick, and then it's gone in off your back, which means then basically you've turned your back.
Yeah.
Which, coaching-wise, you'd be disappointed. You'd say, take one in the stomach, take one in the face, because it's important. You turn your back, anything can happen. Defensively,
how much is that an instinct? How do you coach that out of a defender to be like, I don't want it in my face, I don't want it in my chest?
It's something that you highlight in training as well, that you don't want to see players turn.
You'll be going mad in the change room. If you're the manager and the teammate and you see a player turn his back, you'll be going absolutely mental.
What was the game last week? I watched the game last week where the Wolves split. Yeah. I'd be going absolutely raging. It can't happen. You're there for a purpose. You're there to take one if need be. Yeah. So then, is it an instinct to turn your back? Well, no, it's an instinct as a defender. It's an instinct to block that ball.
Both the two managers in the studio going for bodies on the line.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was mentioned in the comms, if it takes a deflection, doesn't go down as Foden's goal, does it matter? I think as a former striker, you've got to say it matters, right?
It's his goal all day long. It
was on target. The shot,
it's on target.
The shot was on target.
You know, all you do there is, if you're not going to score, you've got to make sure that you hit the target. And you're taught that from a young kid, that you hit the target. Keeper's got to make a save. Keepers make mistakes. Defenders turn their back, can take a deflection. So that's the least you've got to do. And the ball's hitting the target, so that's Phil's goal all day long.
And then when we spoke earlier, of course, about whether this Brighton style of play is inflicting that downfall, insisting on playing out from the back, and Phil Foden capitalised for the third. Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's going to happen as a manager, but then again, he's going to demand that they play out against a team that I think are excellent at possession of the ball with final third regains. So you're thinking like, well, has he got his tactics right? Does he need to do it in this game against Man City?
I think tactically as well, that's where Pep's been bang on, because Brighton wouldn't have been expecting for Foden, Silva, De Bruyne, Kovacic, Rodri, all in that area there, getting ready to go and press them down as well. So they've looked at what Brighton do. They're consistent in what they do, and they've found a way to pick it out.
Good homework.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great finish from Phil as well. Talking about the press and the calmness, composure, just to slot it in the corner. It was great.
Just focusing on Pep for a second, we saw and we heard in the comms he's getting very frustrated on the very rare short pass. Is that fine margin? And Pep, we know how visual he is. He doesn't hide his frustration. Is that just another sign of how it could come down to fine margins, and Pep is making sure that, from his point of view and his team's point of view, that they're completely perfect and covered when it comes to that?
Yeah, he's a perfectionist, isn't he? Yeah. And he'll want the players to be perfect every day. He gets it, he understands they can't be perfect all the time. But he's probably been a little frustrated. I think that there was one or two little flicks that started coming into it, and little 1-2s, and I'm not saying showboating, whereas he probably wants to. What they've done for 40-odd minutes is get the ball and move it quickly, get the balls in the pockets, get them turned, get the ball out wide. And there was a couple of times where there was little 1-2s and little flicks, and it's probably frustrated. But it just shows you the demands that he's got. You're 3-0 up, away from home, a difficult place to go. Everybody was looking at this game to know it's not finished, it's only half-time, got to be careful. But I think he wants them to be perfect.
That's a sign of a manager that's got that balance right in his relationship with the players as well. Because even though when Pep's remonstrating with the players, is when they're taking it on board, because they know what the message that he's giving them is going to make them better players.
Standards.
Standards, and it's one of those that demands. There's nothing better than when you know as a manager you're walking into a change room and I'm going to put demands on players and they're going to accept it. Why? Because it's done for their betterment. It's going to make them individually a better player and the team function better.
Phil Foden on a hat-trick. He's already got 2 this season. Yeah. Could he have another?
I don't see any reason why not. Just depends how long he stays in the pitch now, doesn't it? If we get another goal, does Pep then start taking a few off the weekend? Look, the way he's playing at the minute, how clinical he is when he gets in the positions as well. There's every chance he could go and get another one.
We had a message in on WhatsApp. is Phil Foden the best player in the world right now?
He's up there. He's up the list. I think I said before the start of the game that people are saying he's one of the best young midfielders in the world. I think genuinely he's one of the best.
Yeah, and I think when you judge midfield players, attacking midfield players, it's all about end product. And Phil, entering into the final third, he's either got goals or he's got assists. And you'd say, on stats alone, got to be up there.
Brighton fans aren't happy with him. He's getting a lot of boos when he's on the ball. Is that the kind of thing? Will that be motivating him? Will we hear that and push on?
Well, I used to get booed every ground I played at.
Did you love it though? Did you love it?
Even off the home fans sometimes as well to get it done. No, he'll thrive now. I think the Brighton. Look, we got lucky with the free kick that Phil has slipped, and I think the Brighton fans think he's took a bit of a dive, which when they watch it back they'll realise he's not. So they probably feel a little bit unjust by that. But as a player, when you get booed, especially away from home, it does spur you on that little bit more. I used to love it. Yeah.
We should boo you more.
Absolutely.
Before the show, we'll be there, boo, just hyping him up.
I'm still getting it now.
You never know, do you, when there's been a high-scoring first half, if the goals are going to continue to roll. Keith, do you think we'll see another 3, another 2? What do you think in the second half?
I think it will be, if City get the next goal, then I think there will be changes. But again, that doesn't mean that City are taking their foot off the gas, because you've got players of quality on that bench that want to make an impression because they want to be in the next game. So when they come in, they know their standards have got to be high. So making changes, a lot of teams make changes and they don't really impact the game. And you think of like the players that can come on tonight, they can impact the game in a positive manner, and they need to as well.
Absolutely. We spoke about it earlier, that goal difference potentially in the back of their minds, that they've gone some way to cut it tonight. And of course, Pep will maybe not be thinking specifically about goal difference, but he'll be willing them on. I know you guys have been very excited for us to go back to our game, so let's do that now. So we're going to whiz through it. We have got 5 left, and I know during the course of that game I could hear you two whittering on about it. So let's go, lads. What have we got?
Steve Bruce.
Yeah, Steve Bruce, we said, yeah.
Correct.
Rafa Benitez.
Correct.
I'm waiting for him to come up on the screen.
So there you go. So there's Benitez come up at the end. Actually, the fewest out of this 11. Just a reminder, there are more than 11, but that's just how many we could fit on the screen. So we're being quite mean there. But 3 more to go. Martin
O'Neill.
Correct.
Come on, do you want to join in?
I didn't hear the Martin O'Neill.
He's pulling all the way, isn't he?
Oh, no.
So 2 more to go. 416 and then 363.
Roy Hodgson.
Correct, 416.
I'm sure I said that one in the break.
1 more to go.
Jose.
Correct.
Yes.
Jose Mourinho.
Team effort, mate.
Well done, you two. Great work. Great work, Keith. So there you go. There are all the answers. Well done at home if you got those.
I didn't watch the game. It was racking my brain.
Absolutely. I could tell the first 15 minutes. I was glad when that goal came in, because then your ears pricked up finally, and we were off the manager stats. That, of course, celebrating and building up to Pep Guardiola's 300th Premier League game. Tonight, a masterclass already. We spoke so much about Roberto De Zerbi before. Will he be disappointed with how many goals he's conceded, but just how easy they've come?
Yeah, he will be disappointed, obviously. Nobody wants to go in 3-0 down at half time, but he'll also realise he's playing one of the best teams in the world, who are performing at a top level. So sometimes as a manager, as Keith will tell you, as angry as you are and as difficult it is to hold in your emotions when you're getting beat like that, you've got to be realistic about it as well, and realistic about who you're playing against.
The thing is, I don't think he's going to go out and change. You're not suddenly now going to see Brighton going back to front, because I don't think that's the manager's style. You might have one more player coming in, and he might not have as many players advanced of the ball and have more options to play out to gain that confidence of playing out. So if Brighton get beat 5-6-0 today, it won't change the manager's view on how he wants his team to play.
One of the things that I could really notice through that game is just how loud the City fans are. Paul, I know you're away on the next game. You're down to Nottingham Forest, going to be pitch side. We've obviously followed City around a lot this season away. How important is it to have those fans? I mean, I don't know if it's where our mic is placed in that stadium, but that sounds like it's our home stadium.
No, they're amazing everywhere. Everywhere they go, they sell out. They out-sing the home fans as well. And, you know, as I said, we're fortunate enough to be at a lot of away games sometimes, and they just blow your mind. And you think they're Thursday night as well. You know, and Brighton's, it's not the easiest place to get to as well, and to go down there and sell out. You know, they're the best.
It's a long way to go. You can see the players starting to make their way back into the tunnel. Remind us of your score predictions.
I said 3-1.
3-1. You're going to stick or twist?
I might go 5-0 now.
Might go 5-0. Might go 5-0. Keith?
I said 2.
Yep.
I'm changing it to 5.
Changing it to 5. So both going 5-0. Where's the fun in that, lads?
All right, 6.
So we are looking at some potential of some Brighton subs there. Let's hand back to our commentary team of Michael Brown and first Alistair Mann to bring you confirmation of those substitutions.
Yeah, thank you, Ellen. Welcome back to the Amex Stadium. A double change at half-time. Odeluga Ofaya is coming on for his first Premier League appearance. He's a right fullback and he's replacing Joel Veltman, who was booked earlier. And the other change is Simon Adingra, a much more attack-minded player, is coming on for Adam Lallana. So a double Brighton change. Neither of them are because of injury. Both of them are